The Alpha Sessions live on Radio Brockley.
Yes, it is. We're on our second live session of the day. We're here with Danny McMahon. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming down. You're now quite a frequent Alpha Sessions guest now.
Yeah, it's great. So, always love being here. Always great vibes.
Oh, thank you very much. How's the music stuff going at the moment?
Busy, but in the very best way possible. Yeah, it's been a crazy year in many regards, but loads of shows. You know, so that's my favourite thing to do. So
you are artist, stroke producer, stroke songwriter, stroke general music superhero.
Something like that. We'll take that. Pop that on the CVs.
I reckon that's quite good. So at the moment, what's the main thing that you're spending time on?
At the moment, because I went to Nashville in September and did a bunch of writing there.
How was that?
So amazing, really exciting. Yeah, so obviously I went there last year. We focused on recording. This time it was a lot more sort of playing and writing.
Yeah.
So got to meet a load of new guys and sort of in the songwriter rounds that I was playing out there. So ended up sort of you hear a song by someone that you've never met before and you kind of go, I really like their style of writing. And the way that it works in Nashville, everyone's sort of like super involved. Everyone's really happy to help each other, which is really nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so you just got a spare hour tomorrow, do you want to write a song? You know what I mean? So it was so it came back with some really cool stuff. So sort of in the process of pre-producing and demoing that at the moment.
I think I'd be really scared of rejection.
I was. I was every time I've been to the States, that's always been in the back of my mind, because obviously it's where the sound that I love so much comes from, and everyone's doing it so well, particularly in Nashville, and you get there and you kind of worry, are they going to perceive you as the British guy trying a bit too hard? But it's lovely. It's such a great atmosphere, great vibe. Everything's always super well received. So yeah, it is scary, but once you kind of settle into it, play a couple shows, you're kind of then in the vibe of it.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 3 weeks.
Wow, okay. 3
weeks this time. So we did a few other shows as well. We played a bunch in and around Nashville, and then sort of went through Illinois, Kentucky, and Missouri, and did some shows up through there as well.
Did you know people there already?
Yeah, I did from last time. Yeah,
Okay.
so you make friends really quickly, and also a lot of the guys that come over on their UK tours over here as well. I've sort of done quite a few support slots with American artists as well over here now. So yeah, we kind of got that sort of how can we help each other mentality and vibe, which is cool.
So when they come over here, you can help them too, which is really cool.
Basically, yeah.
Nice, and congratulations are in order.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For your music award.
Yes.
Music award.
It was that was a great night. That was actually it was all a bit mad because we've played so many shows in September. I think we'd just got back from Sweden, pretty much got off the plane and then went and played the British Country Music Festival, and then the following day we were at the awards. So I didn't really have much time to take it in.
Do you know about this sort of thing in advance, or do you just kind of rock up and they tell you as you're there?
Yeah, you never know.
Wow,
you never know that you're going to win it, so that's kind of like the whole idea of it.
Any inkling that you were even in the running?
No, I really didn't. I was really happy that we were asked to play, which was great. So I was there, to get to play there with the band and sort of give people an idea of the full scope of the sound at such a prestigious event as it was. And it was an amazing night. To be nominated for 3 and come away with 3, it can't be much better than that, really.
Yeah,
so it was a special night, yeah, for sure.
Should we start with the first song?
Yeah, of course.
Is that all right?
So actually, this is the first time I think anyone's ever heard this song. This is my brand new single.
Do we have an exclusive?
I think you do, yeah.
That's exciting.
Definitely never played it live before. So this is my new single, which is out on Friday. This is Lonely. How'd your feet find their way to my dashboard? It's dangerous how you're looking back at me. I go from being in control to helpless, sparking up beneath those old pine trees. She got them blue eyes with a faint smile that can keep this thing running all night. I try real hard but don't think I can leave. So, baby, can you tell me how many times we got to be lonely before we step inside and slowly change our minds? So, baby, can you tell me how many times have you got to own me before we make that last mistake and realize, baby, can we do this one more time? Every time I try to make a long run, you'll be hiding, catching up with me. Well, I don't think that I can make it solo. Well, I know that you're so damn bad for me. She got them blue eyes with a faint smile that can keep this thing running all night. I try real hard, but don't think I can leave, baby. Can you tell me how many times we got to be lonely before we step inside and slowly change our minds? So, baby, can you tell me how many times have you got to own me before I make that last mistake and realize? Baby, can we do this one more time? She got them blue eyes with a faint smile. I try real hard, but don't think I can leave. So, baby, can you tell me how many times we got to be lonely before we step inside and slowly change our minds? So, baby, can you tell me how many times have you got to own me before I make that last mistake and realize? Baby, can we do this one more time? Baby, won't you stay just one more night?
Oh, yeah.
It's out next week.
Yes.
Wow. What's that about?
So that one was basically just sort of, I had a friend and he came to me and he sort of just coming out the back end of this really bad relationship, but it was always a case of, you haven't gone to see her again, dude, have you? You haven't gone back. You haven't gone back. And it was time and time and time again.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's bad for your health. Stop it.
Yeah.
Please don't. And I was just like, I've got to put this into a song because it's just getting to me so much. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of like, it's that kind of concept of just going back to that same person, that same situation that you know you shouldn't, but your human emotions take over, you know? Yeah.
We've had a question from Claire, who's watching on Facebook Live, and says, what are your biggest musical influences?
I mean, for me, there's three people that are sort of really big for me in terms of songwriting and production sort of glued together is concerned, and that is I love Keith Urban, Sam Hunt, and Stevie Wonder.
They're quite contrasting artists.
Yes, they are, and there's loads of different reasons for that. I mean, for me, I would comfortably say Stevie Wonder was the guy that taught me how to write songs.
Wow.
Just because what he does is like, you know, harmonically is so complex a lot of the time, but he makes it seem so seamless.
Yeah.
That's the thing I absolutely love about him and his writing. And then with like, I love Keith Urban for the reason that I just love the fact that he evolves with his music all the time, and he always pushes the boundaries, and he's always moving on to something new. Like no two Keith Urban records sound the same, but at the same time he still retains like a really defined sound, which is really
and people
cool.
know it's him when they hear it.
Yeah, this is it. And yeah, again for Sam Hunt, I just love the way he pushes the production with his, you know, with pushes the boundaries within his production. Really, I've got a big fan of that.
Claire also says that she loves this song, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much, Claire. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So that process of putting the song together, obviously, like based on the experience with your mate.
Yeah.
But what's that process in terms of you go away, write it?
Yeah.
Then what happens?
So I mean, yeah, the thing I loved about this one is that it was kind of like it was like going back to being a teenager. Really, I wrote it in my bedroom, sat on my bed, playing my guitar. You know, it wasn't sort of like doing any co-writes in America or in the studio or anything.
Yeah.
There was no bells and whistles about it. It was
Quite
just
organic.
it was. It was just like, you know, I found this groove, found this vibe. I think I'd been cooking or something, and I just came up. I'd heard a song. I was like, that's a cool groove, and just basically just went and sat in my room and sort of, you know, within 20 minutes had the song.
You make it sound so easy, isn't it?
It was. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
You know, this one was sort of just kind of the song just seemed to be there.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, as I say, like my next song that I'm working on at the moment was one that we wrote in Nashville, and like, you know, Tyler Bank, the guy I wrote it with, we were grinding at that chorus for a long time to make sure the lyrics were exactly where they needed to be. So,
But how do you know? How do you know that those lyrics are where they need to be?
I don't think you ever do, but I think that's the beauty of it. I think, you know, because that's for me, that's the beauty of music. There's never a right or wrong. You know, like, you know, there's no black or white. You can never totally be sure, and it's all comes down to the moment that for me, if the moment that you know you got it right is when you put it out into the world and people are able to relate to it or people gravitate to it in a certain way. I think that's the moment that you realise, it's right or it's not.
Also, running a studio with
Yes.
your producer hat on, do you find that when you write music, you're tinkering with it more than you normally would?
I try not to, but I think I definitely do.
Okay.
You have, with your production hat on, you do sometimes just need to be like, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Because you could be there forever. And then, sometimes, I think I say to, a lot of my clients is just trust the process.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really important. You need to trust the guy who's mixing it, producing, engineering it. So I work with a guy called Andreas, who's my business partner, and I've got a lot of faith in his ability. I think that's really, really important because obviously you're bearing your soul effectively.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to trust someone with that isn't the easiest thing in the world.
Do you feel a bit vulnerable almost because of it?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Particularly, on the current EP, I think for me that was sort of like 4 songs that were sort of quite autobiographical and very honest. And I think sort of about a year prior, there would have been no chance of me ever releasing those songs. Particularly something like Boys Cry 2. Obviously, that was from a place where I wasn't feeling particularly great about life and where I was at that time. But I was thought, if I'm feeling it, then someone else probably is as
There
well.
are so many people that feel that. So
Yeah.
I think songs like that are really inspirational, actually.
Thank you.
One more question from Facebook Live, who says, who did you write with in Nashville specifically?
Okay, so there was two guys that I went out there to write with specifically. One was a guy called Tyler Bank, who he's a really cool writer from LA, but he's based in Nashville.
He's quite famous.
He's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty well. Yeah, he's got some stuff on radio over here at the moment as well. So and then they've got a girl called Angie Kay who is really pushing it. She was at the CMA Awards the other night. Like she's really, really getting
Nice.
there.
Yeah.
She's with a Jake Owens management. So it was like she'd booked out the super swanky room for us to go and write in, and it was all just it was kind of those one of those movie moments, I think, for me.
Was there a thing where you walk into the room and you're like, this is cool?
Yeah, you got to try and play it so cool, and
Yeah.
the sort of 16-year-old inside just like, oh my god, it's actually happening.
Do you find yourself almost like fanboying when you're in Nashville a little bit?
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
You do, and you got to try, because people, I don't know what it is, people, you can't sort of let on too much emotion, but on the inside you are screaming with excitement because it's you've worked so hard to get to that point, and when it suddenly happens, it's like, yeah, this is great. This is I say everything you've worked for. Really, it's cool.
Mad, but so good at the same time.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Are you good to do another track?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, I'm going to do Boys Cry 2 for you guys next.
Yeah.
He's falling apart week by week. He can't find the part where he should speak. He'd give anything to force a smile. Boys will be boys just isn't his style. If you do, then you're not a real man. No, you don't understand. See, his daddy gets mad when he tries to explain. Thanks for telling the truth, man, I got news for you. Well, boys cry too if you're waiting on something that hasn't arrived. Don't paint yourself an expected disguise. Never get lost in the things you can't choose. When you're out of ideas and you don't know what to do, well, boys cry too. Don't suck it up, don't play it cool. 'Cause I've been there, done that. It's the worst thing you can do. If you do, then you're not a real man. No, you don't understand. See, his daddy gets mad when he tries to explain. Thanks for telling the truth, man. I got news for you. Well, boys cry too if you're waiting on something that hasn't arrived. Don't paint yourself an expected disguise. Never get lost in the things you can't choose. When you're out of ideas and you don't know what to do, well, boys cry. It's been a bad day, so let them fall. Just let them fall, let them fall. Don't be ashamed, just be who you are. Just let them fall, let them fall. If you do, then you're not a real man. No, you don't understand. If you're waiting on something that hasn't arrived, don't paint yourself an expected disguise. Never get lost in the things you can't choose. When you're out of ideas and you don't know what to do. When you're out of ideas and you don't know what to do. Well, boys cry too.
Oh, yeah.
The Alpha Sessions live on Radio Brockley.
Really important question. How do you find time for it all?
A conversation I have with myself daily. I don't know, man. It's kind of. I was trying to explain this to someone the other day. It's the only thing in my life. You just do it.
Yeah.
I've done it for so long now. It's just sort of a case of it's just what you get up and what you do, and it's the only thing I don't have to think about.
Oh,
I think for
yeah.
me, so it sort of actually gives my mind a break, which is nice. So yeah, that's kind of the reason why I just sort of don't always do have time to do it, but sometimes if you love it enough, you find a way.
Do you find yourself that you'll go through periods of time where you're just producing or just doing your own music thing
Definitely.
or just doing the songwriting thing?
Definitely, it's weirdly it's often seasonal.
Really?
Yeah.
That's strange, isn't it?
It's since the guys when I arrived here, it's sort of like when you've got your festival season is now between like April and September, which is near enough always playing shows.
Yeah.
October through to Christmas, I'll usually always be producing for other people because they finish that festival season. And like, right, let's get a record.
Yeah.
And ready to sort of like promote it into the new year.
But where does your own stuff fit in with all of this?
For me, I tend to go to the States in the autumn a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So sort of just literally as festival season finishes, make sure I'll go out there and do like the writing or the recording and that side of things, and that basically preps me through to the start of the April basically. So I sort of for me it's I always make sure that I've got something out and ready for summertime.
Okay, so there's almost an element of organisation.
There has to be. I usually tend to plan with about sort of like 7 or 8 months ahead. Wow. Usually at this stage, say that I'm going on tour on Friday, and that was booked in a year ago. Yeah. So yeah.
You obviously are driving all over the place.
Yes.
What do you listen to when you're in the car?
Good question. On the way here, I've been listening to a lot of Morgan Wallen at the moment. I love him. I've been sort of going through his back catalogue because he's one of the few artists where they've sort of like allowed him to keep all his back catalogue from like 6-7 years ago. So
it's mad
really
that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. But for me, it's like I think it's really important to have that there because it's like from my perspective, it's great to listen to how an artist has developed through the ages, because it makes you kind of realise that they weren't like incredible from day one, and they had to work their way through to find their sound, and that's really cool. It's really exciting to sort of like listen to all the stages of their.
There's so much work that happens with an artist behind the scenes that I think us as listeners don't even know the half of.
No, it's really interesting. It's like it's even when people come into the studio for the first time, they go, "Oh my goodness, this takes so long." Yeah, it does. You can
well
see,
done.
They realise within about 2 hours of being in the studio why it takes like the major label artists like 2 years to cut a really good album. There's so much detail that goes into it, and yeah. Just one example.
Another question from Facebook Live. Stevie says, "Who is your favourite UK traditional country artist?"
Is this Mr. Stevie O'Connor messaging me here? I think it might well be. Yeah. Hey man, Stevie is incredible. Honestly, like, and he like, you know, despite everything, he is genuinely my favourite UK traditional artist. He goes out and I'm such a big fan.
Do you reckon he asked that question because he knew that was going to be your answer?
Of course he knew it was going to be the answer. He knows that. He knows like, I'm his number one fan down here. So yeah. No, he keeps it real. It's great. We were at the British Country Music Awards the other week as well, and he won Entertainer of the Year, and you can see why. Like, honestly, like, you know, forget that I'm on the bill. Go watch Stevie. It's you'll have fun. Put it that way.
So much love.
Yeah, it's good. That's how it's got to be. We're all trying to get to the same place at the end of the day.
Absolutely. So what's coming up next for you apart from tour?
Yeah, so we got the tour coming into and then basically February is where it all kicks back off again. We are off to Berlin right at the start of February, so to do the country music meet there.
Wow.
Yeah. And then just confirmed that we are going to be heading to the States at the end of February as well to do some shows in and around Pennsylvania.
Is there anywhere that you're not going?
Haven't got to Australia just yet. That's on that.
Is that on the hit list?
Yeah, that's definitely on the hit list.
Nice. Is country music big in Australia?
It actually is.
Is it?
It actually is. Yeah,
wow.
Like Tamworth Festival is a huge.
You would never think that, would you?
No, this is it. You don't think of it at all. But like Keith Urban headlined it last year.
Yeah.
Like they have a really, and there's a lot of radio play out in Australia as well. I'm often doing interviews in Australia and New Zealand, which is crazy.
So Australia, if you're listening, tour please.
Yeah, please, that would be nice.
Mr. Australia. So if people like what they've heard today, where can they go? What can they do?
So my social media handle is @Danny McMahon UK. McMahon is McMahon to avoid confusion, because it very frequently does. You can tell I've had to say that a few times. Got the tone rehearsed and everything. But yeah, no, go check that one out there. Everything's there. And if you do nothing else today as far as going into where my music is concerned, just head to the iTunes store and get the new single.
Do it,
because it's always helpful with charting. So fingers crossed.
One more question.
Lovely.
Best gig that you have ever played?
Wow.
That's a really big question.
That is a really good question. I would say, as a country artist, the best show that I've done was I did a show in Belcourt Taps in Nashville as a writer's round, and I was so scared, but it was so amazing to have that like response in the room to what I was doing. I was like, the caliber of people was just like unbelievable.
That must be super nerve-wracking.
It was. I was so scared. There's guys, who are on like big labels, who have been like the final of The Voice, and they're just like little old me sat in the corner with me floppy hair. Like it was. I felt a little bit out of place, but it was just because I was so nervous about how they were going to perceive it, but to sort of go out there and people actually dig it. That was a great moment for me, because that's always my big goal anyway with what I do, is to sort of like try and make sure that we get it out to America as well. So yeah, that was probably for me, sort of playing Belcourt Taps there. I did love the British Country Music Festival as well this year. Playing that with the band was amazing. Such a big venue. It was the biggest venue that we've done so far. So yeah, that was really special to be sort of those guys put on such a great festival, and so we were to have the slot that we had was really humbling. Yeah. So that was a big one for me as well. I just love playing. I just love the sound of it in those big venues.
Yeah. I think we had this discussion last time about big venues being less nerve-wracking.
100%.
Than small venues.
100%.
And you've just reaffirmed that for me. I think.
Yeah, definitely. It really is. It just seems to flow more naturally for whatever reason for me. It's not the same for everyone.
Because you can't see everyone's faces.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm secretly so shy.
Claire Clark says, my 6-year-old Amelia is loving this, dancing around.
Bless her. Bless her.
So she obviously digs it. So
that's amazing. Good. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
No, thank you for having me.
Are you all right to leave us with the last song?
I will leave you with the last song.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
No problem at all. Since we've been talking about it so much, I'll play one that we wrote in Nashville. Again, never played it before, so. There's a big old world out there, seen a million towns from north to south, but none of them compare to you. There's a big old sky above, seen a million lights lighting up the night, but none of them shine bright as you. Spent a lot of time trying to find something I didn't need. Well, Well, I got the best of every single city sitting right here with me. You're wild like New Orleans on a Friday, got me buzzing like NYC down on Broadway, smooth as a small town Tennessee whiskey neat. You got me high like the sun off the coast of Morocco, cool as the cars down in Monte Carlo, strong as a coffee on a quiet Venice street. You drive me London crazy, you're Paris pretty, you're everything I need, you're my kind of city. There's people everywhere with different styles and all kinds of smiles, but none of them compare to you. Spent a lot of time trying to find something I didn't need. You're wild like New Orleans on a Friday, got me buzzing like NYC down on Broadway, smooth as a small town Tennessee whiskey neat. You got me high like the sun off the coast of Morocco, cool as the cars down in Monte Carlo, strong as a coffee on a quiet Venice street. You drive me London crazy, you're Paris pretty, you're everything I need, you're my kind of city. Spent a lot of time trying to find something I didn't need. Well, I got the best of every single city sitting right here with me. You're wild like New Orleans on a Friday, got me buzzing like NYC down Broadway, smooth as a small town Tennessee whiskey neat. Got me high like the sun off the coast of Morocco, cool as the cars down in Monte Carlo, strong as a coffee on a quiet Venice street. You drive me London crazy, you're Paris pretty, you're everything I need, you're my kind of city.